You doing? Welcome to lesson 2 of programming with Sporky. What I'm going to do today is, one second, sorry, I need to get my phone. Where is it? It's in my pocket. GG. One second, guys. I'll put up the stream on my phone so I can see if you guys type. Basically, what we did last lesson is basic variables. Channel feed. One second, guys. Sorry. This is really annoying. Uploads. I can't see my thing from here. One second, guys. Sorry for the delay. Okay, whatever. Let me just restart this. Should have done this before. This is streaming. Okay. Okay, whatever. Let me just. Sorry, guys. Why is this not working, for God's sake? Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna ditch that. Thank you for following, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get into it. Last lesson, what we did was basic variables. We did basic commands like printf, scanf. We did also while loop and if and else statements. As you can see, the code that is on the screen right now, this is what we did last time. I'm going to upload it. What we basically did is a very, very basic login, login panel, you could call it. That it has a stored ID, stored password, and then a user enters their password. And as long as it's incorrect, it's going to keep on going and until you enter the right ID and password. So I'm not really sure if I should go over, just you guys tell me in the chat if you want. Put the Discord down. It is down. If you guys want to go over it, just type me in chat and I'll restart. I'll go over if and else statement. I'll just wait for you guys to receive that with this delay. Just trying to connect to my stream. Looks like I'm not streaming. Oh, there you go. There you go. I got it. I got it to work. Okay, for any new guys that are here, I'm gonna put down a link in the description if you want to see other other videos that I made. It's basically, and there's an introduction also to inbox art. If you guys want to join the community, that will be awesome. Here's the link for the what is it called, for the YouTube channel, that you can see the past lesson and you could go over it if you want. We're going to code in C++ like it says in the title. So I'm going to explain just what's in here, and we're going to go back to doing what we need to do. What we're going to do today is go over these two. We're going to go into for loop, then into arrays, maybe some pointers. I know it doesn't make any sense to you guys right now and you don't know what the hell pointers are, but I'll get to that. Basic functions, how to make a function. That's basically it. There's nothing else to say about it. Define. I'll get to that as well. And header files. That's basically a way to make other files that are inside your project, and connect your main project, your void main, the main program, with other functions that you use instead of just crowding one file with like 10 million lines of code. Okay, so let's go over what we did here. So we created a variable, integer variable. We called it SID for stored ID, and we created same thing for password, stored password. This is the ID. It's equal to 5478, and the stored password is equal to 12345. Now, as we said before as well, we want to initialize the UID and UPW since that's something that the user will input. You could also not initialize it, but in our case, because we're using a while loop, things have to be initialized because this... Thank you very much for following, man. Because this case, what the program thinks is that there could be a chance that this argument will be false. So in that case that it's or false and it won't go into the while loop, in that case then all this won't happen and the user won't get to input the data in. So that's why we need to initialize it. You can also do it in a other way, which is more kind of, you know, a workaround. When we make programs, we don't want to, it's like, I'll ask you where your ear is. You'll say, my ear is right here, not all the way right here. Yeah, this is my ear. You don't want to do that. You want to think of the design first, and then you go into starting making the program. You need to kind of fix it up in your head and think of how you're doing stuff. Like we said, a program is from like a book from the top to the bottom. So it reads all the top things, then it goes to the bottom. When it gets to the bottom, the book is over. You throw it to the garbage. Okay, so what I did over here was a while loop. We're also actually going to do do while, which is another loop, which I want to teach you guys. Another sort of loop. It does the exact same thing, but there's a slight catch to it. So we asked here inside the argument, is SID not equal to UID if the user input is not equal to what's the stored ID is, and also, this is the and, one second, check the Discord, and okay, awesome, I'll check that in a minute and I'll put it up as soon as we start going with stuff. And then we put the operator, the logical operator and, which I went through as well. If you need any, these are all the operators, including logical and regular operators. These are the logical ones. This is and, this is or. These are equal to, like I said before. If you want write one equal, it will be basically this is equal to this now. From now on, this is equal to this. If you type two equal signs, it's basically asking, is it equal to that? Also, exclamation mark equal if it's not equal to something. Bigger than, smaller than, bigger than equals to, or bigger than equals to, and smaller than equals to. Okay, so hello, man. How you doing? Okay, so like we said, we have a logical operator here, which is the and we have the not equal to, which are the regular operators. So we're asking if the stored ID is not equal to the user ID that he inputted, and stored password is not equal to user password, which is what he entered, then you do whatever is inside here. Otherwise, you're gonna just say, yeah, well, it's not correct. Just keep on going, mate. You don't need to do this. So then we go in. After we go in, it's gonna say, okay, listen screen. I want you to print right now. Please enter your ID. And then I want you to go one line down. Create a new line. So it says, okay, it prints that to the screen. All well and good. And then it goes down. And then it says, okay, listen up. Now the user is supposed to type something in. So you're going to listen to the keyboard as an output, as the input. and you're going to wait for it to type something and press enter. As soon as it press enter, you will keep on going down the list and keep on doing the other commands that are inside the program. I am absolutely amazing, man. I'm awesome. So after the user inputted the ID, it goes back in here and says, yo screen, I need another thing. Please enter your password. That's what I wanted to think. Yeah, and a new line as well. So it prints it to the screen. You can see it on the screen. And then it says, okay, user is supposed to input something again. Just wait for a second. And then it basically does that. Now we put an if statement here. If statement, like I said before, is a lot like the while loop. Sorry, the while loop is a lot like an if statement. There's just two or three changes from that to that. Basically, the while loop does the loop, and this just does what's inside in case it's true, in case the argument is true. So it asks the same thing that it asks in the while loop. And the reason that we do that is, I'll get to that in a bit. I just want to go over that. It goes in, and then it says, okay, if this argument is true, this whole argument is true, then printf password or ID is incorrect. Basically, that goes to the screen. And if it's not correct, then it will go back to the while. Now, I'm teaching how to program it. I'm teaching C/C++. Right now, I'm doing the while loop. I'm just going over what we did last lesson. And in the future, oh, by the way, guys, I wanted to tell you something about what we're going to do in the future. As soon as I'm finished with teaching C/C++, I'm going to start doing DirectX lessons and Unity and CryEngine. Basically meaning that you'll be able to create your own game engine if you desire to do so, of course. But this is the basics, and once we cover the basics, we'll go a little bit more advanced, until you reach my knowledge level, which is software engineer knowledge level, and then you'll be able to kick in. I hate you too, man. Anyways, so basically, I'm just kidding. Love you, man. Where was I? I forgot where I was. Oh yeah. So basically, as soon as we're gonna get to that, like I said to the guys on our Discord, by the way, you're free to join. It's an open community. I do private lessons as well, and all kinds of cool stuff. And we do also contests. And if there's a game that actually is interesting to us in Bucksart, which is a gaming studio that I made around about a year ago, if it's really interesting and an in-depth game and we think that it has potential, we will will fund it towards Steam Greenlight, and you'll be able to try your chances. Maybe you'll get something out of it. Yes, this is very basic. This is the start. If you want, I could jump just for a second back on one thing on the variables. The commands and the commands are already here. I already explained them. If you want, I can hop back a bit to the variables. If you don't know, just type in chat. By the way, the lesson we have rule, guys, in this Twitch channel. You guys, if you don't understand anything, you type it right away inside chat if you don't understand anything, and I will just stop mid-sentence and I will explain to you what the thing is and a lot more in depth so you guys can understand. Obviously, it's a bit harder to do it with a lot of people, but I will try to do it as much as I can to the extent that is logical. So let's go. So we go in here and we ask, is SID basically the same thing over here? And then if we know that if the user inputs a correct password and a correct ID, then this while loop won't go again. It will say, okay, well, I did my job, and because it checks every time the loop starts. It goes down, 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 finishes, gets to this point, goes over here, and then goes back. I could even show you that with breaking points on how it works. Thank you very much for following, man. And then it goes back here and asks the same thing again all the time. It just keeps on asking the same thing. By the way, a cool thing, if you type while brackets true and put a thingy, it will run forever. It will never stop, ever, ever, until obviously you close the program. So obviously we know that if the statement, the argument will be true in the future, it will exit the while loop. And in that case, when it's true, it's going to print in you're logged in. So that's basically it for that. Let me drink just a sip of water, guys. Sorry. Dry mouth. Okay. So let's run the program just to show you guys what it does. Okay, please enter your ID. So let's enter like a random ID. And please enter your password. We'll enter a random password. Your password or ID is incorrect. Now let's enter the right one, the correct one, which will be 5478 and 12345, and you're logged in, and that's it. The reason the program didn't close now is because all the way in the bottom over here, there's a scanf. Tell me guys if you need the screen a bit bigger, if I should zoom in or anything. It's just a bit more comfortable for me like this, but if you guys don't see something, then it's obviously not really, you know, we missed the point of a lesson. I put here a scanf, which basically says to the computer, wait, the user needs to input something. You need to wait for that. And then when we type something in and press enter, the program will close. Okay, so after we did this, I'll go back into here, why actually I put an if statement. You know what? I'll just show you how it works without an if statement. So, and I'll put this out here. Right? Actually, no, I'm not going to show you how it works without. I'm just going to explain it because it will just mess my mind up. Basically, why we do this is free space. I don't give a shit, phone. I really don't. Basically, the reason that we have this if statement is a way to indicate if the user put in a password, a correct password. Because if you think about it like this, let's say we had a different statement or whatever, it will come back and still type this, even though the password will be correct. It will type, oh, you know what, actually, you know what, I am going to show you this. Give me a second. I'm going to close this and put this over, oops, not this, whoopsie daisy. There you go. I'll put this over here because obviously if the while loop keeps on going, right? If the while loop keeps on going, when it will check it, it will eventually, and if I enter the right password, it's going to type in you're logged in. So there's no it's not necessary to put an if statement there, right? That will be logical for, you know, logically it's very logical. So basically I'll put in a thingy, a random thingy over here. Password is incorrect. Works great, right? But what happens when I put in the password itself? What happens if I put the user ID and password? 478 and 12345. Your password is or ID is incorrect, and then it types in the login. And the reason that it does that is because, as we know, it checks it first, then it asks for the user to enter its ID and password, and then it goes back, but it still prints this. So there's no use for that, and we need to use the if statement to make sure that the user didn't input a correct password, because if he does, he doesn't deserve to be greeted by, you know, yeah, your shit is incorrect, go fuck yourself. He shouldn't be greeted by that. And then saying logged in. So yeah, that's basically what we did with while loop. Is there any questions, guys? If you do have any questions, just type it in chat right now. I'll go over it. I'll wait like 20 seconds for you guys to reach this. Anything at all? Nothing? Okay. Good. That means that I'm explaining myself correctly. That's really good. Okay. We'll delete this. Actually, you know what? I'm just gonna mark this like this, and I'm gonna put it to the bottom. Yeah, we're getting quite a lot of lines. Look at me. I'm a professional coder. 106 lines just for one tutorial. Okay, next thing. For loop. Well, you guys are going to enjoy this. Okay, so I'll do the for loop and I'll explain. Okay, so the for loop takes three variables. Actually, better off to say it takes in a variable or it creates one. The second argument that it takes is the condition, a true or false condition. And the third one is you could either activate it or not activate it. For loop, if you won't activate it, it's really like doing a while loop, which is not necessary. It's just stupid. But the third one is basically what defines a for loop to be a for loop. So let's go ahead and type for loop, and we'll open brackets and curly brackets. Oopsie daisy, that was incorrect. And open like this. Now, okay, we'll go into here. So first thing we need to do, how a for loop works, is it gets a variable, which is usually whatever name you want to give it. It could be I, it could be J, it could be big balls, I don't know, I don't care what it is. It gets a int variable, not a character. It could get a float as well. It could get a character, but there's just no logical reason to use it like that. Okay, so it takes a variable, an integer preferably, and what it does, it sets it to 0 or whatever you want to set it to. Now, the second thing, so let's do that now. Let's create inside here int. We'll call int because we want to, like I explained before with the boxes, we take a box. We have, because we want it to be organized, so we give it a data type. So let's say this imaginary box is going to be only for ints. So only ints can get in here. Nothing else could go in here. Now, since I'm probably going to have another 1,000 ints in my program, if I'm making a big one, then we want to give a box a name so we know what it contains, right? So we type on it, the name of the box, so we know what it contains. And then we open the box and we put the value in, whatever it is. Could be 40, could be 50, could be 1,000. So we're going to go with that same text and do this now. So we're going to create an int that is called I, and we're going to make it equal to 0. And now we're going to put a column. Column? Yeah, column. Sorry guys, I'm from Israel. English is not, I don't have a big vocabulary in English, that big. There's some things that I don't know, so I might have a mistake. Please correct me in chat. And now we put in the condition. So usually for loops, what for loops do is increase this integer by 1 every time the loop goes. Okay, so it goes all the way down, and then when it goes back, it checks the condition, okay, and it ups the variable that is in here, or any other variable really. It ups it by 1. It could be either 0.1, it could be 2. You could decide on how much. It could even go minus, but you need to decide what you want to do with it. Usually what we use for all kinds of basic stuff is only plus plus. Now, operator that I wanted to teach you guys is this. Let's make an int, call it j. Actually, we're going to call it j, and we're going to make it equal to 0. Okay? Now, yep, exactly. So that's exactly what I'm going to. And then we do I++, and we have also I minus minus. Whoopsie daisy, forgot the column. I minus minus. We have also, fuck me. We have also minus minus I, and we have also plus plus I. Now you might be asking the question, what does it matter if it's in the front or back? It doesn't matter. Like, it still puts it up by 1. But the thing is here, if you put a plus plus in the beginning before the I, before the J, sorry, that was supposed to be a J, because I is not declared yet. Like we said, program is from the top to bottom. There you go, error's gone. So what happens is, if you put the plus plus sign before the, usually what you use this again is for loops and for loops. The difference is that when you put the plus plus sign before the variable, it does the plus plus immediately. So as soon as it goes, okay, so I'm going to be the program now, and I'm going to analyze it. So it goes over here. Oh, hello, int j, new box. Okay, we'll go down, nothing here. Oh, j plus plus. Okay, actually we'll put it here because I'm explaining this now. So it goes over here, say, oh, plus plus j. What am I supposed, oh yeah, I need to basically up this by 1. So I'm going to up it now. That's what I'm going to do now. So it ups it now, and now j is equal to 1. Then it goes down, oh, j plus plus. Okay, so I'll up it next time j comes up. Okay, so let's say, very good grammar, man. Printf will do this, and as we talked before, you need to do a percentage sign, and the kind, we also have all the kinds over, where is it? Over here somewhere? I deleted that. All the kinds are basically D for decimal, basically an int, any number. Thingy sign, fuck what it's called, percent sign F, which is for float, and percent sign C, which is for character, and percent sign S, which is for string. We'll get to strings in a bit. Okay, so let's do over here, and we'll put this nicely here, and we'll put J here. So basically it says you're going to display a decimal number, and the variable that you're going to display is going to be J. Not unlike C# or Lua or whatever, that you just put in, print to screen or whatever the command is, and then you put the name and then plus, and then you put that and plus, and then you do whatever you want over there, basically. Over here you need to put that the type, and then you put that to J. Now, so we go over here, and it says, okay, so now I'm gonna remember that I need to up it, but just next time it's gonna be displayed. So basically, if I put over here, after this, printf j, j is still going to be equal to 1. But as soon as it's displayed or used, it will up it by 1 for the next display or next use. So basically what happens here, I'll go fast through this, plus plus, okay, j plus plus, okay, j equals 1. J plus plus, okay, so next appearance I will up it by 1. So it goes in here, prints 1 on the screen, okay? And then it ups j to 2. So j is now equal to 2. Goes down, fucking column, goes down and says, okay, j minus minus. Okay, so next time that it appears, I'm going to do minus minus. I'm just going to delete this one because I think you understand what this does. I'm going to do minus minus. Let's see if you guys can guess in chat, please. And please cooperate with me when I'm trying to be cooperative and trying to make this lesson interactive. I'm going to do j minus minus, and now it's going to display j. I want you to answer me this. What will j display? What will be inside j? What will be on the screen? What will it print on the screen once this is run? When it runs this. I'm going to wait for you guys to get in the chat. Hello, 2 new guys. How are you guys doing? Waiting for a bit more. No, it's not going to type J. Over here on this print, what will it print out? Going to give you guys another 20 seconds. Okay, time's up. It's going to print 2. The reason is that after, when it's on the right side, okay, it says, okay, next time it will come up, I am going to do minus minus to it and make it 1. But for that time that is up, it's still going to be the exact same. So it goes over here, goes into here, goes into here, and column goes into here and types 2. And now, from now on, as soon as it goes down to this line, J will equal 1 for whatever else happens. Okay, so let's delete this since we went over this. Now, for the condition. So let's say we don't want J, we want to count. We'll do a count. Okay, we'll do a program that just counts something. No user input whatsoever. So we want it for it to count from 0 all the way up to 10. Okay, so we do basically when I is equal to 10, then it will get out. Okay, now this is the difference between while. When it's true and not false, when the argument is true, it will come out of it. Okay, it won't be like, okay, 1 second, only variable stuff or something. Yes, I usually stick with the left side as well. There's absolutely no reason to put plus in the front if you do the program correctly. There's really no reason for it. It's just there that you'll use it if you need to. Okay, so what we do over here is we do I++ after the argument. Now, one thing that I want to say, in for loops, inside that section over here, it doesn't matter if you do plus behind or plus in the front. It absolutely does not matter where you put it. It's just going to up it by 1 every loop. Okay? Every time it loops. So let's go over here. Yes, I++, it doesn't really matter. It's personal preference. I prefer ++I because it does it right away, and I'm not going to have any use to do something and first screen it up. If I make the program correctly, there's no reason for me to make it go up by 1, display it, and then go up by thingy. Okay, it doesn't make, to me, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe it will make sense for somebody else. Who knows? I use ++I. It's totally personal preference. Like scripting is personal preference. You could script like, you could program this way and you could program that way. That's what's beautiful about programming. You could program as any way you want. That's why you need to be so creative in order to do programming. You need to understand what you want to do, and from that get out to obviously to creating. Okay, so it's just a thing. Does it in Java? Okay, see you in a bit. Okay, so let's go into this. Now we want for the I to be displayed on the screen, right? So we do printf, close this, and we do %d, put a comma, and we put I. We close it. Now, see you in a bit, man. It was fun. Hope it was fun for you. Now let's run the program and let's see what happens. I did a very big mistake, and I am so sorry. I don't know how I did this mistake. Sorry, guys. I gave you wrong data. It does do when it's true. you need to put, I got mixed up probably. You need to put in, I don't know how to explain it. Let me set it up in my head a second. Sorry guys, my fault, completely my fault, misled you. You need to put in a false argument for it to go in, okay? This argument needs to be true, obviously, but usually you put in a false argument if you want it to count. That was totally my fault. Sorry guys. Yeah. Sorry guys, totally my fault. Super sorry. So remember, it needs to be true, and for it to count to 10, you need it to be you need the argument to all the time be false until that argument is actually true, and then it will go out of the loop. Sorry, again. And then as you can see, it prints from 0 to 9. But why does it print from 0 to 9? Does anybody have any idea why it prints from 0 to 9? Why use int instead of using unsigned int? Int I will be better for be a negative. Yes, you can use that. That's totally, completely understandable if you want to use it for only positive values. But let's say I want to count down, and I want to do minus minus over here. So what will happen then? You understand where I'm going at? And yes, and by the way, don't get confused with signed and unsigned yet. I will go through that. That will be a little bit later. I don't want to go through that because it might, I don't know. Okay guys, listen, I don't want to throw you too deep into the water and then you won't be able to come back. Let me put it out there and I'll get to everything. Don't worry, man. But it's good that you're asking questions. Thank you very much. Let's see what happens. I'll do smaller than 10. Oops. Yep, that wasn't intended. I forgot to put the plus plus here. Nope. That is correct, Subcom. That is correct. Okay, so in case we want to go from 0 to 10, so we need to give this argument. If I is smaller than or equal to 10. So when it gets to 10, okay, it will say, okay, so I am 10, I am 10, so I'm going to do this, and then next time it's going to be 11. So 11 is not smaller than 10, and it's also not equal to 10. So that's it. It goes out. Boom, we have 10. Now let's make it a bit nicer and put /n, \n here, whoops, \n here, and then that. Okay. Now, so now that we've done this, I want to do something actually with you guys, with everybody that is in chat. You have the Discord thingy. Whoever wants to come can come. Whoever doesn't want to come doesn't have to. I'm going to give you guys a little assignment, a tiny assignment that should take you around about 5 minutes, okay? What I want you to do is the following. I want you to create a login panel like we did before with the while loop, but I want you to integrate one thing in there. I want there to be a for loop inside the while loop, okay, that will count the amount of tries, or actually you can ditch the while loop as well. It's your way of thinking. Just do it creative. What the program basically needs to do is to count how many tries you did, display it to the screen with saying tries left, okay, and when you run out of tries, the program will close, okay? I'm going to give you just one thing. That command closes the program, okay? So we'll do 5 minutes. We'll do 5 minutes. Whoever wants to come into Discord, I am on Discord right now. You have the Discord thing in the chat. Not in the chat, sorry. You know, I'm actually going to send it in the chat so you guys can join. Copy. Let's read what Subcom wrote. To 0. Exactly. Right, what he wrote right here. Okay. And by the way, it was supposed to be 11, not 10. So whoever wants to join, we're going to do a small assignment, just really tiny. By the way, whoever doesn't have Visual Studio 2015, I'm going to send a download to Code Blocks in the chat. Oops. This will take you literally 5 minutes to install, 3 minutes to download. It's only 32 megabytes. For these with a fast internet, you could maybe download it even in a second. So yeah, whoever wants, come on Discord, and we'll do a small assignment like I told you. You just send me the program once it's finished, and I'll run it. I'll see if it works. If it works, congrats for you, man. You are a basic developer. I don't know. Yeah, I just want you guys to start trying to do stuff. Okay, I'm going to keep on streaming. I'm going to keep on talking to you guys. I'll answer any questions. I'm just going to wait for you on Discord. And that's it. By the way, you'll be able to hear the guys on Discord. Tell me when you guys are finished. It should be really easy. Actually, you know what? Everybody that wants to do this, just type 1 in chat. And if not, then just type 2. Because if not, then we're just wasting time. There's no reason to do this if nobody wants to do this. Anybody going to type in chat? I'll watch this time. I'm DLing, downloading, and installing call blocks. Okay. Just tell me when you guys are ready, and please type in chat if you want to do this or not. 1, if you want to do this. 2, if you want to ditch it and just for me to go on. Please do that because I don't want to waste any of you guys' time. Some of your people have full-time jobs and we need to wake up in the morning. And, you know, so just tell me in chat. Sorry, man, I don't really understand what you mean, where to get the CPP. What do you mean by that? Like the file? Oh, I get you. Yeah, I'll actually, let me just put this in here. I'll upload it now into Dropbox. I'm going to make a section for us in Dropbox. Give me a second, and I'll upload this file with all the examples. Let me save this, go into thingy. Yep, this is documents, Visual Studio 2015, projects, stream toots, and stream toots, and there we go, EP1. I'll just call it EP1/2 because it's still 1_2. Okay, still the same subject. Okay, it's going up now, guys. Give me a second. Dropbox. Do I still have my old character here? Oh my god, I do! I built a character when I was, I think, 14. For whoever doesn't know what a character is, it's basically a way to get over antiviruses and basically bypass them. Stream toots. And I created a character that any program that you put in there will be undetected by antiviruses. They picked up on it after I think about a month, and then bye bye. Hello, Mr. Luke. How are you doing, man? Let's go into this folder. I'll upload. Choose file. We need to go into documents, right? Documents into to Studio 2015 projects, Stream Toots, debug, not debug, sorry. Stream Toots, episode 1 and 2.ccp. Okay, uploaded. I'm doing awesome, man, and thank you for joining the stream. I am absolutely amazing. Are you new here? Like, did you watch the last stream as well for the programming lesson? Or are you new? Oh, right. I need to give you guys the thingy. Okay, from now on, all the stuff are gonna be you'll be able to download over here. And if you're interested in any of these stuff, whatever, I don't give a shit. You guys can download it. Share, create link, copy link. I'm gonna put it over here. Do you want a wallpaper with a code theme? And yes, I'm new. I guess if you want to make it, sure, I don't mind. And if you want, I'll redirect you to the first programming lesson, which is right here. You could watch it. The examples folder is inside there. I'm going to put it also. Let's see this. That's really nice, actually. Know what? I'm going to download it. You even have a website with your name. That's really cool. Okay, I downloaded it. I'll put it on a bit later, if you don't mind, man. Oh, nice. Okay, guys, last chance to type if you want to do this or not. If nobody's gonna type, I'm just not gonna do this. Type 1 if you want it. No, it's fine, man. If you want to do this little assignment that I gave you, type 1. If you don't want to, type 2 in chat, please. Two. Oh, okay. You know what? That works. That actually really works. Okay. I gave you the folder. Why? I can't get the Dropbox for some reason. Okay, so I'll just go in here. Wait. Did I share the wrong thing? Did I share Crypter instead of StreamToots? Share, create link. What does it? Why does it copy link? Copy, paste. It's this one. If you want to do the assignment or not. Oops, where'd he go? Okay. So yeah, you know what? That is an assignment for next stream. I posted the thing later on in YouTube. You're gonna have the Dropbox. Okay. Thank you for following, man. Who followed? We'll see in a second. You know what? I'm gonna start saying names when you follow. Is that okay? Let's see who followed. Come on, tell me, man. Mr. Luke, thank you for following, man. Okay. So let's continue. Now that we have all that aside, we can go towards, and let's see if it's interesting or not. Yes. Oh, I've been waiting to do this. Okay. Now, guys, I'm going to teach you something that is very important in any programming language. I'm going to teach you arrays. Arrays is basically, imagine, how will I explain it? Okay, I have an explanation. If you remember last stream, I taught you integer and I taught you variables, and I made a really nice analogy of, where's paint? A really nice analogy of boxes. So I'll just go over that for a second just to refresh you guys, and then I'm going to go into explaining arrays. So we have a box, correct? And inside this box, we have the data type to it, right? Where is it? The data type to it. So let's say this is int. Okay, this is the data type. Now we have also the name of it because we want to know what's in it, right? So we have, let's say, lols. Okay, that will have to do. So we have lols, and that will be in red because that's the name. That's the name. And inside that, we have, and inside the box, since we gave it a name, we gave it a data type. Now we know what we need to put inside it, and we know what's the name going to be. Inside it, we have 32. Okay, and that will be in blue. Okay. Now that we have this box, okay, we want to do something. We don't want to create, I don't know, like hundreds and hundreds of ints and name it different names and call like have temp1, temp2, temp3, temp4. We don't want to do that, right? We don't want to have tons and like have a script this fucking big, like 100 things of just declaring variables. We don't want that. That is just more and more code that doesn't need to be there, and it just confuses everybody when they see it. So what we do is something called an array. An array is a list, okay, of ints or floats or chars, characters, and I'll get to chars. I want to go into something really specific in chars. I'm teaching, by the way, C right now, so you guys, when you go into C++, it's basically the exact same thing. Everything that you have on C, you have on C++. So I'm teaching you the basics of C, and then from that we go into C++, which is the exact same thing, just with a little bit of changes. Like he wrote, Mr. Luke, C out, the two arrows, that's basically like printf. It's just different commands. All the rest of the stuff, all the theory stuff, are the exact same. We'll get to that in a bit. So what we want to do is an array. An array is a list of boxes, basically, that are named the exact same thing, but they have an index to them. So we add an index. Okay, so we decide, okay, I want to make 10 boxes. Okay, I just want to have 10 boxes of lols, but I don't want to create lols 1, lols 2, lols 3, lols 4, and just keep on doing that. So what we want to do is give it an index, right? So we give this index 0, and we'll put the index in gray. Okay, this will be index 0. Now, since we have more lols and we have 10 boxes, then what we do is create another box, and this is supposed to be in black. Create another box, right? Create another box that is basically the exact same thing as here. Oops, sorry, right? Basically the exact same thing as here. Control V over here. Oh, thank you very much, man. That's really nice, man. Best of luck to you. If you want, you could join my community. I have Inbox Art, which is a gaming studio that I made a while ago. And I decided to open a community side. If you want to learn programming or learn from other people, you have any questions at all. And I'm doing also private teaching on Unity or C++, Python, whatever it is. You could just go in there. I'm there almost all day long. Like on Thingy, I'm connected to it with my phone, and I'm connected through my laptop when I'm out. And you could join whatever you want. It's free and open for everybody, and free lessons, no money, man. So that's attractive. That's an attractive offer. So now that we made another box, because we have 10 boxes, right? So we're gonna have another lols, and over here we're gonna put, I don't know, 45, okay? And this is gonna be blue because we decided that blue is the color. Oh, not that blue. I want this blue. Because we decided that blue will be the color of what's inside the box, and we want it, and now this will be in the index 1. Okay, we'll go in here. Now, something that I need to tell you guys, and this is very, very, very important, because if you're going to use arrays, which you are in any program that you use, anything that you make, you're going to use arrays, because it makes your life 10 times easier. Arrays start from 0. Everything almost on the computer that you code, that you program, starts from 0. The count doesn't start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It starts from 0. Okay? So it's 0, 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 9. Or whatever number you want it to be. So technically, this array will have 10 items in it, but it won't be indexed 1 through 10. It will be indexed from 0 to 9. Okay? So that's basically that. So we have this box. Awesome. Now we make another box. I'll just copy fuck. I knew that I needed to do that. I'll just do this black. And we have another box over here that will be the color. That will be that, and then we'll do int. Sorry guys that it's taking me so long. Control C, Control V, copy that into here, and we'll make a little way to open the box, which is really nice because you need to open the box already sometime soon, probably. So we have that. We put in here, and we put a gray, and we call it 2. This will be index 2, and this will be index, and this will have I don't know, 47. So this will be blue. Fuck, I hate myself. 47. Okay, Now disregard this number. I'm just going to delete it because I want to do a little of an example. Let's delete this, and we'll put over here 41. 41. Now, we made an array, okay? That is everybody's favorite. That's the best error there is. The most annoying error there is. There is absolutely, you can't even imagine. When I just started with arrays, how many times I got the same error again and again and again and again. I all the time forgot how to, it was fucking annoying. But yeah, that is the best one. I would agree with you in programming. That is the most common error that every programmer, even if he is the best programmer in the world, will have every single time. Okay. So basically we made all these boxes, right, that are named lols. They carry ints, and the index is 0, 1, 2. Now all of these, okay, I want them to be an array of odd numbers, okay? So we do that, and now I want to create another array which is even numbers. So we do the exact same thing, we name it differently, and then we have two arrays, and we know that whenever we see lols, that's going to be only odd numbers. And when we see a different name, could be not lols, it will be from it will be only even numbers. You get the point? So you can make different arrays, and then you know what classifies each array by the name of it that we gave it, not only by the data type, which is invariable. Okay, so let's get coding, boys. Actually, you know what? Before I get to that, give me 1 minute. I'm going to the bathroom. I've been saving this for about 30 minutes. So yeah, give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back with you, and we're going to do arrays. Okay, guys. Hello. I'm back. 1 second. Okay. Semicolon. Right. You're right. Whoever put semicolon. The semicolon. Okay. So let's get coding with arrays. Let's see how this works. So we know, like we said before, we want to declare them before we make them, right? So let's create an array, okay? And type of int. That's going to be the type of, that's going to be what we put in this box, okay? We do a space, and now we want to give a name to classify what, either what we're having in the array, which could be, let's call this odd. If that's how you type odd. I don't know how to type odd. GG, boys. Odd nums. And now, since we type that, we want to say how many numbers are going to be in there. Okay? So, what we do is this. Now, over here, from now on, guys, I want you to ask any question you have, because this is very touchy subject for learning it, basically, because it's really hard and it's really comprehensive. And I need you guys to, for your own good, to put in questions, ask questions, okay? About everything that I do, if you don't understand. I'm going to try to go as slow as possible so everybody could understand, everybody could get a piece of it. So we're going to do this. we're going to do odd numbers. Okay, now we're going to give it, I want only 10 odd numbers. I want there to be in this array only 10 odd numbers. I want this to be equal to, and now we put these brackets in, okay? And we put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, whoops, that's odd, sorry. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay, let's actually do it 5. Because I don't feel like going more up. And now let's do even numbers, which I need to put a semicolon. Int even. Thank you very much for following, Matt. I really appreciate it. I really do. I'll say your name in a second when it pops up and tells me. Actually, it does tell me right here. Okay, dashboard. And I could see it. Tyrene321, thank you very much for following. Even nums, okay? And we'll put also 5, oops. Also 5, and we'll make it not minus, equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Okay, so we have 5 here. Now, we have we have two arrays, which each one is called odd numbers, one is called even numbers, okay? So what we do now is this. Let's just see. So let's create a for loop, okay, like we learned before. We're going to give an int I, we're going to make an int I that is going to be equal to 0, because an array starts from 0, the indexes. It starts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is not included, it's just the amount that you want to have in there. Now, we'll put, if I is smaller than 5, the reason I'm putting 5 in here, okay, is because we have 5 numbers, five numbers in here. And it disincludes 5 as well. It won't go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like we went over before, and I made the mistake. It will go to where I made the mistake before. It will go to from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will never go into 5. And we put a semicolon. Now we put I++. Okay. And now we want to, watch closely at what I do right now. Okay. We're going to do printf. Okay. We're going to do decimal, because that's what we're putting in. And now we obviously need to put what we want it to print. So logically, the way we learned it, it's going to be, let's say we want to print the odd numbers, it's going to be odd nums, and like this, right? So we all think that it's going to, I don't know, print all the numbers, right? Because it goes 5 times every time it goes. Let's see what happens. What happened here? Why does it do that? As you can see, though, it did print 1749643, blah, 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 blah. Why did it do that? The reason is because you need to specify the index that you're starting with. Okay? Now, let's try this and see if this works. Are you guys seeing this? Why is this not working? 1, 1, 1, 1. I told it to start from 0. Like it starts 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's logical. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the reason is because you need to give it a variable that changes every single time. If you want to get into each and every one of the slots, each one of the numbers, you can't just give it 0, because it's just going to loop 5 times on 0. It's just going to keep on printing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, which is the first value. So what we actually want to do is give it I, because we know that I will increase itself from 0 until 4 every single time the loop goes around. So what happens here, it goes in, it sets I to 0, it does I equals 5, then it goes down. If I is smaller than 5, then it goes down, and then it says, okay, I need to print a decimal, okay, from the array odd nums. Where is it? Oh, yeah, here it is. It's right here. And I need to print the index, whatever is in box number I, which I right now is 0. Then I'll print 1. And then it will go down. It will go back here. It won't do this in the second time around, because otherwise we'll be stuck at 0. It checks, is I smaller than 5? No. Okay, so I++. It goes down and it says, okay, well, to do this, I need to print a decimal. Odd from the odd numbers, yeah, same old, same old. Goes in here, okay, what is equal I? I is equal to 1. Okay, then I'll print the first one, the second in the index, basically 1. Then it goes to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see if this works. There we go. So that works. That's awesome. That's really cool. Okay, so now that we have that, let's do something a little bit cooler, okay? So we want the for loop to print also the odd numbers and also the even numbers, okay? Now, we want it to print them in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Any ideas, guys, on what I need to add to the for loop in order for it to happen? Let's see if you guys maybe know, or maybe think creative. Let's see. I'll give you 2 minutes plus another 10 seconds until I say that in stream. Let's see if you guys can see. But type it, no typos, because I'm going to copy it from chat and I'm going to put it in and see if it worked. Okay? My name in Steam is Gman. Yeah, that's going to be, you're going to have like 300,000 things to it. Let me just send you my profile. There you go. That's my profile. Any of you guys have answers for that? What do you think should be put inside the for loop? Anything? Nothing? Nobody has any idea on what to put in. I'll give you a clue. It's obviously supposed to be a printf. So you can check how printf is syntaxed here, but I'll need you guys to type in what will be in here. So it will basically, this is the start of it. Now, what will be after the colon? Okay, I'm going to say the question again. We want that this for loop will print from 1 to 10 using these two arrays. And I want the answer to it. I'm waiting, guys. It's not that complex. I think you guys will be able to do this if you just try and type in chat. Just even type errors. I don't mind. Okay? Don't be afraid to type. Just go ahead and type it, please. It will help for you. It's for you guys, not for me. I know the answer. It's for all you guys to understand it deeper and start and think about it. Anything? Nothing? Absolutely nothing in chat. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just do it. If you guys don't know, then I'll just show you what to do. So we go in here and we type the exact same thing that we did. Even nums and I. Any idea why this will work? Anybody has any idea why this will work? Okay. Okay, so basically the reason that this works is because both of the arrays are size of 5. Okay? Both of the arrays are size of 5. Now, since the program reads it from top to bottom, it's going to be like this. It's going to go in here, it's going to say, okay, odd number 1. Which one is it? It's this. I'm going to print 1. Now it goes down here. It says, okay, even numbers number 1, which is 2. Let's see what it gives out. Boom, we did it. Awesome. Simple as that. We have 2 arrays, each one with this, and that's basically it. That's all you guys, that's basically arrays for you guys. Let's try and do something a bit more complex. Let me think of something a bit more complex. Okay, I have an idea. What we're gonna do is this. We're gonna do the same thing that we did, kind of. Same. Hello, Mr. Luke. I'll add you 1 second. We're gonna do the exact same thing that we did before. Just instead of having the numbers already stored inside the boxes and presenting them, what we're going to do is 2 things. We're going to use for loop twice. We're going to do, we're going to use for loop twice. What we're going to do is this. Instead of putting in the numbers and storing them inside the arrays, what we're going to do is actually fill them up. So fill up the numbers into the arrays. Now I'm going to do this very, very basic and a bit more and less advanced with all the little shortcuts that I do. So I'm going to do it a bit longer, but try to keep up, okay? So what we'll do, oh, what the hell is that? Anyways, okay, so what we're going to do is what we did before. I just upload it to Dropbox or something and then send it to me. What we're going to do is this. And by the way, I'm not going to run that program. I know it will blast my ears out. What we're going to do is this. Like we learned before, we can actually give and declare something without giving anything to it, right? We don't have to make it equal to something. We just create it. Now, like I said before, in the last stream, when you have a box and you say, okay, I have an int, I have a name for it, but I don't have anything to store it. What you basically say when you do that is you say, okay, here computer, take this, save it somewhere. You could put whatever thing you want in there. You could put flowers, you could put random numbers, you could do whatever you want with it. Just know that I will need it back. And when I say I need it back it instantly, okay? So what's going to happen is that if I show the numbers that are inside these arrays, they're going to be random numbers and just trash that the computer stored in there, or by the fuck, I forgot what it's called. Wow. Okay, never mind. That the system stored inside these boxes that we loaned to him, but we're going to use them and we're going to give him names, right? So actually, because we're using it in a for loop, because we're using it in a for loop, it's going to yell at me and tell me, May, you did something wrong. And it's going to say it wasn't declared, because inside the for loop, this may not run according to what the compiler knows. So it's not valid because I didn't use this or didn't assign anything to it. Now, maybe it won't, I'm not sure, but it's better off to just go safe. So what I did over here, I just made the first number 0, and I think, I am not sure, all the rest of the numbers are going to be 0 as well. basically initializing it to 0. So let's do this. Okay, so we want to make a for loop. Now we need to make two, because we want one that will put in the numbers into odd, and one that will, we want one for loop to put all the odd numbers into the odd numbers and all the even numbers into the even nums. And we want one for loop that will pull all of them out. So actually, we could save this for loop and save it for later, because this is exactly what it does. Now let's create another for loop, okay? Now let's do, one second, guys. Okay, I'm just going to do it the long way. I'm not going to do anything thingy. We'll need 3 for loops. I'm just going to do it like this because it's better off. You guys will understand it better. Okay, so we need one for loop for the odd numbers, one for loop for the even numbers, okay, and one for loop for the for printing. So we'll do the first four. We'll do int I equals to 0. Now, one thing that I want to say, there is something called a magazine, okay, like a mag for a gun, okay, that basically stores integers and all that, okay, inside the memory. If you type it in the main program, the only way that it's going to get destroyed is when you close the program. If you put an integer, int I, for example, right here, it's going to get destroyed as soon as it goes out of the for loop, and it's going to cease to exist completely. It's not going to be there. It doesn't matter what you do. It just goes away. It throws it to the garbage. Okay? So that's why the computer lets me to actually put in int I here and int I here. And if I'll put int I here like this, let's do int j and int j, it's going to actually give me an error, whether it's going to mark it on now or no, it's not going to mark it on. But when I start the program, it's just going to tell me 2 variables were declared with the same name. Okay, so we put I to 0, right? Now we know that odd numbers is the size of 5, so when I is smaller than, but fuck you, man. When I is smaller than 5, and we do I++, right? Basic, really basic. Now what we want to do is fill in, actually, oh my god, I'm thinking what to do. I'm trying to keep it simple, guys, and it's a bit more advanced, so I don't want to, you know what the heck. I'm just going to do something that might confuse you guys, but no. One second, guys. Let me think on how I'm going to do this. Give me 1 minute. I just don't want to go into stuff that are a bit more complex, and that'll confuse you guys and I'll lose you. It's better off you won't watch the stream than watch it if I confuse you guys, because then you're just not going to understand anything. Okay. Have a way to do it. It won't confuse you guys. Okay. Now we're going to make an int called odd num. Okay. Oops. Odd num. As we see, this is odd nums and this is odd nums, so that's completely okay. We're going to make that odd nums is going to be equal to 1. Okay? Now, what we do is like this. We go into here and we do the following. Now, since we want it to jump 1, 3, 1, 3, 7, and 9, right? 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Sorry, my brain is a bit mushy today. We want it to jump twice. Okay, so we'll go 1 plus 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 2, 3 plus 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 5, and so on. So what we do is like this. We go odd num. We could do it 2 ways. Odd num plus plus, and then odd num plus plus. That's the more easy way to do it. But in case you guys want to do it like every time that it will add 10 to it, right? We don't want to do 10 fucking add nums, okay? We don't want to do this, right? So I'm going to teach you a different way to do this, which is like this. It's very, very simple. Odd num is going to equal to, from now on, to odd num plus 2. So basically what it does is like this. It goes over here, it says, okay, I go into the for loop. Okay, let's see. Odd num, which is this, equals to 1. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do is go, okay, so odd num from now on is equal to, oh, this is a mathematical equation. So we're going to go into here, okay? And let's do the mathematical equation, and whatever comes out here is going to be odd num. We're going to replace what's in odd num. So he does, okay, odd num, which is 1, okay? We're referring to it as 1, and plus 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3, right? Or is it 4? I don't remember. Where was I in first grade, man? And now what's going to happen, it's going to basically up it by 2 every single time, basically bring it into up until 9 when the thing stops. So now, in order to put it in, all we do is odd nums I, because we want the index, and the for loop, the I goes all the way to 5, right? So when it goes all the way up to 5, it's going to have, it goes all the way up to 5, this including 5, not including it. And so we'll go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like we said before. It's going to equal to odd num. Now, I want you to guess what's going to happen, because I did put a mistake here, okay? And let's delete this for a second. We'll put it in brackets, in commenting. And I want you to guess what's going to happen here. Try for yourself. I'm going to run it anyways. I don't need you guys to type anything in chat. Why did it go up all the way to 11? Now, this is the thing. We started odd num as 1. But then what we did is did odd num plus 2, okay? And then we put the whatever odd num is into odd numbers, okay? Into index 0, right? But this is not equal to 1, it's equal to 3. So what we need to do is very, very simple, because the program reads from top to bottom, like I said a million times already. Then we do this. And then the first time it's going to go in, it's going to do, okay, this odd nums, okay, index 0 is going to be 1, and then that, okay, awesome. We did this. So now we could either choose 2 things. One is either do the same exact thing for even numbers, okay, inside this for loop, or we could create another for loop which is not really necessary, okay, the way that we're doing it now. So we'll take even numbers, okay, and we'll create another int called even num, okay, not nums, num is equal to 2. Okay, and then we do the exact same thing that we did over here, but over here. So, oh wait, semicolon. Okay, we're going to do even num is equal to even num, okay, in index I, because they're both going to go on the same index. It's two different arrays that go up to 5, so you don't need to make 2 for loops for that. Semicolon, and now we're going to do even num is equal to even num plus 2. Semicolon, up, went up one, semicolon. Okay, so let's see what happens. That is weird. Oh, of course. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, boys. Good job. Upload it to Dropbox, Mr. Luke. Okay. 1 second. Now that we did this, and all is well and good. It was really awesome to do this. Fucking amazing. Now I'm going to step into something that requires you to fucking listen, guys. Okay? Otherwise, you're not going to understand it. If anybody here ever programmed before, we all know and love a variable called string, correct? Well, I'll tell you a little secret. String does not exist in C. It does not exist under any circumstance. There's no string. There's nothing like that. Nobody ever made it in C. What's beautiful about C that you create everything that everybody else made. In C++, obviously you have string and all that, and then that's why we're hopping in two lessons or one lesson. I'm not really sure how long I'm going to get to. So that was good, man. That was really good. So we're going to hop in two lessons to C++, but when you know this will change your view on every single programming language if you didn't know this up until now. String is not actually created. There's no such thing as string. String is an array of characters. There's absolutely no such thing. Nobody ever made it. It's just a definition that one of the developers did when he coded C++, Java, you name it, for a string. It's an array of characters. That's the beauty of it. So let's put all this, I'll comment this out. And now we're going to mess with strings. And this is pretty awesome. I've been waiting for this. Let's see how badass are we. 137 lines, man. We're like the best coders on earth. Okay. Water. I need a drink sometime. Okay. So, now, like we did before, we want to create character, which that's the data type for the box. We want to create it my name. We want to call it my name. Okay? And we want it to give it 10. Okay? And make it equal to I don't know, let's mark SP369. Now let's see how many characters we have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now. Okay. Now that we have that, I'm not sure if I need to put this. I don't think I need to put this. Let's see if it won't give us an error. No, it won't. Okay. Now, something that I want to teach you guys. Okay? This is something very important. In strings, there's something called a null terminator. Okay? That is an identifier for the computer, okay, to close down and end the string. So basically, in our memory, the way our memory is structured, we have our memory slots, okay? There's slots and addresses inside the memory that go one after another. Now, what an array does, as we said before, each and every single memory tab in your RAM, okay, is going to have a letter in it. So if we do printf, and actually let me do this 1 second because this will be out of bounds, and we do C character, and we put in my name, oh, not empty name, my name, and then 1, 0. We'll close this and we'll do select. And then we have M. So now we have M. It puts out M because that's the first letter, right? in the whole thing. So basically, each number, now let's do this. Actually, no, I'm not going to head to that because that's pointers and that's something, a whole different lesson. So now we're going to go and do 1, and we'll see what we get, and that's probably going to be A. I'm just guessing, maybe. Yeah, that's A, of course. So now that you know that a string is actually a character. Actually, I'm going to add something here, and after the define, and that's going to be 7, and that's going to be our new 8, and this is going to be typedef. Okay, and I'll show it to you guys in a bit. So as we know now, strings are basically an array of chars, of characters. Okay, so if we want to print the whole name, okay, then we use S, which is for string, an array of characters. GG DLL? Okay, that's it. We have his name in here, Marcus369. Now, what we could do as well is like, we want, sorry, one second, I am losing my train of thought, sorry. What we're doing as well now is let's create a simple program with this. Now that we know that it's an array and it acts like an array, it's like anything else. We have a float array, we have a char array, and all that, which is really, really, really cool. Now, I'm going to head to something that, and this I will move, one second guys, sorry. I'm going to move this over here. And I actually put a semicolon over there. Wow, man. Wow, the programming, man. Okay. And that's not supposed to be that. It's supposed to be this. Okay, so now, for all the guys that are wondering, okay, I need to teach something very, very important. Another thing that they don't have in C and C++ are Booleans. Actually, in C++ you do have Boolean, but it's in C you don't have it. I'll explain it in a second. We don't have Boolean as well. I'll just go for C. I'm not going to say C++ because I'm going to be too general. We don't have a Boolean. What a Boolean is, and that's the reason that I didn't teach you it, it's true or false, correct? It's either fucking mosquito man in front of my face. Fuck off. A Boolean is a Boolean is true or false. You don't have in the middle, you don't have anything in the middle. It's either true or either false. And that's what we do and compare stuff. Now, what I want to say is very, very important, and please listen. In C, 1, any positive number or any negative number is counted as true. 0 is the only number that is counted as false. Okay? That's the way it works. That's the way that Boolean works. Boolean is actually an enum, which we'll get to later on in the streams, probably next lesson. It's an enum. An enum is a way to declare things or object, or not object, sorry, fuck, where did I come with object? Basically kind of commands to declare true and false. So basically saying, okay, from now on when I say false, it's going to be equal to 0, and when I say true, it's going to be equal to 1. That's basically an enum, which I won't get into that and how to type it and how to use it yet. I am not touching that yet, even if you guys ask really, really nice. So as we don't have string and we don't have Boolean, so let's try and do something nice for us, for ourselves. Let's create string, right? So what we want to do is use a command that is called typedef. Typedef is a command that lets you assign a certain data type to create your data type. Get me? If I'm not clear on that, just tell me. I'll put it in. I'll explain. So typedef is type definition. basically like it sounds, that's exactly what it does. The data type, and it declares a new definition for it. So let's do that. Let's do typedef. Okay. Now, since it's characters, it's an array of characters, we want it to be, and we want to be able to call it string, because that's basically, in any programming language, it's a string. A string is, it's a array of characters in any single programming language. You thought that it's there, but it's not really there. So let's create it. So we have char, and let's say we want the string to be max of, what will be the longest string that we'll ever fucking type? I don't know, 100, okay? So we'll be able to put 100 letters into this. And now we're gonna name it, and we'll name it string, semicolon. Sorry, that was my fault. Oh. Whoops, syntax error. So what we did right now, we created string, which is an array of 100 characters that we can use and we can have in our disposal, right? Which is really, really cool, because now we could type strings. We could just do, instead of doing all this fucking bullshit, which nobody wants, okay? And I'll comment this shit out because nobody cares about it, right? It's fucking shitty ass. We'll just do string, type it correctly, blah, 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 is equal to, you know what, I'll just call it string 1, string, okay, is equal to, my name is Sporky. That's it. You have a string. You added a string to C. Congratulations, guys. That's all you needed to do. Basically that. Now, I'm going to go and make a quick kind of metaphor. I'm going to, I forgot the name for it. I forgot the name for it. Never mind. I'm going to show you a little example on how we can, like, think about a typedef. Really, I don't actually need paint for this. I'll just explain it. So it's really just a command, actually. It's not really anything to explain. It's not anything to explain like we did with the boxes. It's really just a command. It's like explaining printf like I did before. So I'm going to explain it. So we tell the computer goes up here and says, oh, hello, this is typedef. So I need to do a new definition from now on. What will be the definition? Okay, so it's supposed to be type of char. Now, what is different from this and another thing? Does he just want to rename it? Or does he want to add something to it? Maybe he wants to add, so let's see. Then he goes into strings and says, oh, okay, so he basically wants a box, a new type of a data type, a new data type for boxes that will be named strings. And these boxes are going to be an array of boxes, okay, an array of chars. So what he basically does is this. He takes a new box and he says, okay, this is now named string. And it was type character. He did an X on the character. And now he does string, okay? And then he says, okay, so how many, okay, I need 100 of these. So he just like magically fucking pops up another 100 boxes. And another 99 boxes, should I say, and puts them in a row and just types the index for each one of them. So now, technically, when I type string, I created 100 boxes of type char, basically like the array that I said with the indexes. So that's basically arrays, and that's how you create a string. And you can also use a string like this. You could just do char and give it a name and an amount of things in it, okay, and obviously semicolon in the end. So that's basically it for that. Now, I'm gonna do something let me think. I'm thinking on what to do. Okay. I want to do something with you guys. I want to create, you remember the program for the login that we did before? Which was really cool and really fun. I am checking out your messages. Sporticus, and then you put a black guy with, oh no, that's a Chinese guy with hair. And then you put check out my messages, like so yeah, sorry. So now I'm going to create the same login thing that we did, but instead of putting in ID, which is a number, we're going to do a string. Now, for strings in C and C++, we have very specific things that are already created for us in order to manipulate them. Strings are not intended to be called strings. They're only called strings because they're a list of an array of chars, okay? So we're going to do this. I can't, man. I'm in the middle of the stream, my friend. I can't, like, if you want to type in here, I really can't do this and install programs and start making new programs while I'm doing a lesson, man. If you want, after the lesson, come on Discord. I'll be happy to do it with you. Okay. So, let's do the same thing with the login. Okay, so we'll do that username, SUD, SUN, sun, nice, S username, which is stored username, will be Sporky. Okay. Next thing that we want to put, is a password. Now, we don't want to do like a lame-ass password that we had before, if you guys remember. This, where is it? Over here. That contains only numbers. It will be easy to brute force that. By the way, I'm going to do some hacking tutorials in the future with Kali Linux. So if you guys want, you could watch it. It's really, really cool, and you might be pretty surprised with the things that I teach you. Okay. So we have a string type, data type that is string, okay? We have S username that is equal to Sporky. Sporky, I didn't type it correctly. Sporky. Now we want to do a saved password, right? So we do string, another string, and we do S, let's just do PW. So we'll know that's the password. And the password is going to be 1Q, 2Q, 3Q. Okay? That's going to be our password. Now, one thing that I forgot to mention, and I was starting to say it with the null terminator. Terminator, what the fuck is up with me? One thing that I want to mention, and I forgot to continue with it, is the null terminator. A null terminator is basically when you have a string and it's put inside the memory, you need to have an end to it. A kind of sign that will say, okay, this is the end of the string. From now on, everything could be something else. Don't keep on reading data. Don't do it. From here, it could be fucking, you know, the part of the system, part of Windows. You could break stuff. We're not going to allow it to go any further than this. This is what you have. Okay, this is the null terminator. Now, in case the null terminator is put, in our case over here with SPW, since the array is size of 100, we're going to have, and we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to have a null terminator and index 7, and index 6, sorry. Because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not 6. You have 6, and it's from 0 to 5. So at slot 6, at index 6, we're going to put down null terminator. But it gives us still freedom to increase the size of the array because we still have another more extra slots still in there, even though the null terminator is there. We're not using the full potential. That's why, I'll get to it, when you make strings, it's better off to make arrays of chars instead of typedef char string, because then you could set dynamically the size of the string, okay? And then you won't take extra space that is not needed, and you don't want to use it and clutter up your RAM. Let's say if you had a 1 kilobyte RAM size, okay, only 1 kilobyte. If you'll have a string, it will take up your entire fucking, actually string is 1 byte. If you have 1024, that's a megabyte. 1 second. I don't remember how much is one. Yeah, I think 1024. 1024 bytes is 1 kilobyte. If I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. So what you want to do is create, only what you need to save memory. Okay. In my game engine that I'm making right now, if I will give a demonstration in about 2 weeks after I finish the basic and core aspects, you will see, and I'll do a demonstration of this. I can put in, if you guys know games and a bit about modeling, I put in 20,000 spheres into the game, scattered around the map, okay? You would think that you would need, like, I don't know, 100, 200, 300 megabyte to store all that data, because every single point on that ball, on that sphere, is going to be saved, right? But no. The way I did it is a way that I use literally 10 megabytes of space instead of 200, 300, I don't know how much it could be. The way I did it, it only takes in the RAM 10 megabytes. That's all it takes. And that's by using arrays and manipulating arrays correctly in order to save space and not overuse and basically make the program less efficient. So that's for that. So I explained null terminator. Now let's do what we decided to do with the login system. So like in the last script, we want to do a while loop. Okay, I'll cover do while in a bit. Oh yeah, and we want a string, another string that will be upw, right? And we want it to be equal to a, okay? And we create a string oops, that will be, we're putting a in there. Actually, we'll put 0. 0 is counted as a null terminator, by the way. And pw, we'll use that, we'll do username. Okay, and we'll do upw, and we'll equal that to 0 as well. Okay. Now, 1 second. Actually, I need to go into something that I don't want to go into like this. No, actually, no, sorry. That's my mistake. It's completely logical. I just forgot about it. Okay, so what we want to do here is basically compare both the stored username and the stored password. Both compare them into what the user entered and what the, basically, I think you can understand what I mean. The user password and the stored password and the stored username and the username. Yeah. So what we'll do here is the exact same thing that we did before. We're going to do, but with a slight change. Like I said before, there is a lot of commands for string manipulation that is already inside in C in order for it to make it a lot easier for us. So we're going to do str CMP, which is string compare, and as you can see, it gives us to put in a character, not a character array. Okay, ignore the star sign. I will explain that later in our pointer lesson. And we put in here, we put S username because we want to compare S username, and we want to compare U username. Okay. Now we don't need to put the brackets because it's already a type of array. With I'm not gonna go over there. Don't ask questions about it. I'm gonna do like this. Okay, just follow me. So we do that. Now, basically, what strcomp does is get us send back a number. Now, like we said before, 0 is false. And any other number, either minus or plus, will be true, correct? So what we do here is basically we check if S username and U username, what the user inputted, are similar. Now the numbers that we get back from strcomp are three different kinds of numbers. Either 1, which means that the first string in the index of alphabetical order is bigger than the second string that we added in. The second one is 0. It's when both of them match, okay? And the third one is -1, which means that the first one, this basically that we entered, is smaller in the alphabetic order than the second one that we entered, okay? And now we do and, because we want to make sure that both of them are correct, not one of them is correct, okay? And we do the exact same thing. So we do strcomp, we put brackets in, okay? And we do spw, and we put upw. Now, if you guys remember, like I said literally 2 seconds ago, why is that giving us an error? Oh, there we go. Okay. Random. Sometimes it happens. It's completely random. I just need to move the cursor. Okay. So like we said before, what the hell was that? Like we said before, minus any number that is not 0 is true, and any number that is, and 0 is false. So what will happen here if both of the names are correct? Right? If both of the names on the first try are correct, wait, 1 second, sorry guys. Okay, no, actually this is correct. The if statement that we'll do will need to be the opposite, and I'll explain why when I do it. Okay? Because basically we're checking if it's not equal to. Okay? Now we go down and we do this. After we compared both of these, we know that if it's correct, okay? Actually, let me just do it in an if statement, a small if statement, so I could keep on going with what I was saying. So let's say we have if, okay, and we have this strcomp. I'll just do this for the explanation because we're not going to use it, and I still want you guys to remember this. Log printf. So, yay. Okay. So we want when both of the strings are compared and they're correct, right? We want it to print inside yay. And then else I don't need to do the else. The else it will print it's not correct. No. Now, basically, wait, what did you type? Equal to 0. That is actually, that is correct. Sorry, that is correct, Mr. Luke. I'm sorry that I said no. It's actually correct. So what I'm getting to is that strcomp, what comes out of here, is actually going to be 0 if they're correct, and it's going to type yay, and it's going to type any other value, okay, when it's incorrect. Okay, when it's incorrect and they are not exactly the same, then it's not going to put that in. Okay, it's going to put plus 1 or minus 1, and you're not going to get this beautiful printf of yay. So what we do in order to that is, like Mr. Luke suggested, is equal, not over there, sorry, equal to 0. And whatever happens inside here, the number that it brings back, okay, think of this as an int, okay? Think of this as an actual box that is magically created, magically appeared out of nowhere. It's going to be there, create a value depending on the two strings, okay? And it's going to vanish. It's going to be there and it's going to vanish completely. That's why we actually do it inside the if statement. Like I said before, with the magazine, everything that is inside the if, everything that is inside the brackets of the if, inside a while, or inside a for loop will absolutely get deleted and thrown away like it never existed before. So, actually it's 2 a.m. for me. Oh yeah, for you, for me, sorry. Yes, it is. It is 2 a.m. Sneaky. I need to get up late tomorrow, so I don't really care. Anyways, so back to the thing. So we need to make it equal to 0. But we could do actually something a little bit more simple, which I find personally, it's up to personal preference again. Personally, I find it saves a bit more space, because when you have a couple of conditions in there, it's going to be long as fuck. So I actually do this. I put a bracket over here, and I put a bracket over here. Basically, if you learn math, guys, it's like putting a bracket over, let's say, you have open bracket, 1 plus 2, close bracket, and then plus 3. So what will happen first will be inside the brackets, and then it will do whatever is outside of the brackets. So that's basically what I'm doing here. And then I put an exclamation mark here, basically saying, if whatever comes out of here is false, sorry, I'm doing it with my hand. You guys obviously can't see my hand. Whatever happens in here, in this section, whatever comes out here, if it's false, I'm saying, if it's false, then do this, because we want to do equals to 0. You could do else printf, you shall not pass if you type the wrong password. That is actually what I'm going to do. I'll do that. So that's basically the explanation for that. And that's something that you guys are going to need to look for, because it's going to come up a lot of times doing the... who's connected? Venom. That's something that you're going to go over a lot of times when you get into using strings with C or C++ even. And maybe in C++ you could actually do equal to. I don't really remember. So you have strcomp, and basically you need to remember this, that if they're both correct, it will put 0 and not a positive number. Okay, now that we did this, we're going to type the code. So we're going to do printf, please enter your username. Okay, we'll do like this, and then a space, so you'll be able to type it in like that. And then it will do that. Okay, close it. Now, like we did before, we have scanf, which is saying, okay, I want to scan something from the keyboard and see until the user presses enter. Now, inside here, like we did with the other stuff, with the other printfs that we want to print a string, we actually need to put here s, because it is a string. We're going to input a string into that place. It's going to get a string from the computer. So then we do comma, and we put in u username. Whoop. U username. There we go. And we our rule, remember our rule, we need to put the and sign before it. This will be explained in the pointer lesson, which you guys, if you all want to become really good developers in anything, especially C and C++, you'll need to come to this lesson or watch it on YouTube or do whatever, and you have to be in this lesson. This lesson is the most important lesson that you're ever going to learn in coding, ever. Okay? Okay, so we do this, we do scanf because we want to put whatever the username puts in into the array. And now we do, now we do this. We do scanf, we do printf, not w, printf. And we do please enter your password. Okay, so we have that. Now we do the exact same thing for here. We do upw instead of that, upw, and that's it. Now, like we did before, just so it won't be as complex, we add in the same exact argument over here, because we want to make sure that the user, because we don't want to type you did something incorrect, and then, you know, I explained it before. I think that's understood already. So we do if now, now we do if that, then print f you shall not pass. Okay? Printf you shall not pass. Okay? Now that we have this, I want to teach you something that will save you a lot of lines of code, because as you can see, like, it's personal preference again. As you can see here, it has these two brackets, which could get you a bit complex. It could get a bit complex if you have a lot of if statements inside and it's thingy, and it gets really, really long. A little thing, if you have only one command, but remember this, only one command, any more than that, and you'll need to have the curly brackets. If you have only one command, and this is the only time this is going to work, you can actually delete the brackets from the if and place it right under over here. Now, for an example, I'll show you. It will automatically do this if you have Visual Studio. It will automatically jump to here, and then you could do this. Okay? Just for our lesson, I'm going to do it with this, because this will look a lot better for you guys, and when you go a bit more advanced, then you'll be able to read this the way that I did before and understand it quite better. So now that we have this entered, now that we have this entered, we can actually go in and type printf, okay, printf sorry guys. One second, I'm just thinking. Okay, we do this, printf, you are logged in, smiley face, okay? Now that you do this, you press enter, it goes one line down, it will do this, you shall not pass, it should have this, there we go, \n. The reason I'm putting a \n over there is for it to go one line down instead of being cluttered up in one fucking line. Okay, so let's test this out. We'll add this here and put a space, and let's see if it actually works and if I did any mistakes. It works. Beautiful. Now let's try two things. Now I'm going to do this once, and I'm going to put a breaking point. That's something in Visual Studio that you can do. And I will show you what actually happens inside the code. Let's do like this and like this, just so the breaking point will be a bit more nice. Okay. So let's put a breaking point over there, and we're going to start the console. Now nothing is going to appear because we're just entering the breaking point, and you go one by one at every single level of the while loop. By pressing F10, you could do that. You could go one level down. So now we can see that let's pin this and pin this. Actually, we don't need to pin this. We need to pin this. For fuck's sake. Pin this, and we'll pin this as well, so it will be easier to see it. Okay. Actually, I want to show you something really cool. You remember that I was talking about RAM slots, and it's somewhere in the memory? This is actually the address, the actual physical address where it's stored inside your RAM. Okay? It starts from there, and it goes 100 slots to the right. Okay? Or left, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Down, up. It doesn't fucking matter. That was just a stupid comment. Yes, man, strcomp, beginners. It's fun. Anyways, okay, so let's get back to what we were doing. So we press F10, and now it gets to the printf. What it does in the printf, it says, okay, now I want you to print whatever is inside there. So we do that, and then if we look at the screen, you have please enter your username, right? And now I press F10 again, and it's going to do that. Where did the arrow go? Where did it go? Where it went is because it's waiting for a user input. So it let me go into the program and actually change something. So what I'm going to do is this. I'm not going to type the actual username. I'm going to type SPS. Okay? You're going to press enter. Now it goes down, and as you can see over here, it's actually changed to SPS. Okay? The username is storing SPS. Now, as we remember, it's a char, it's an array of characters. So this is slot 0, index 1, index 2. Now, we continue, press F10, because we have this printed on the screen. And now it's going to let us enter our password. And we enter the password, we'll just do RAR, we press enter. Now it's going to go over here. Now we go in here and we press F10, and we see that it actually goes in. The reason that it goes in is because this and this are negative. Now, one thing that I did a mistake here is one mistake that I did here is that it's an AND logical operator. I was copying what I did before. It's not supposed to be an AND for the simple reason of this. strcomp1 could be the exact same as this first one could be the actual username, right? And this one could be the actual username. And if this is true, but the password is not true, it's actually going to tell us that I'm logged in, which we don't want that to happen. So I'll show you a demonstration of it. We go over here, and then it types into the console, you shall not pass. Let's type continue, let's press on continue, and please enter your username. Okay, wait, let's just do that, and we'll do that. Okay. We don't actually need this. Okay. All right, I was just looking at chat. So let's do this. I'll enter Sporky. Okay. I'll enter, oh wait, we need to remove this breaking point. We'll press continue. I'll enter Sporky. Please enter your password. I'll enter a random password. Wait, is it like that? Is that the syntax for it? Is it first? Yes, it is. Okay. And then I'll enter this. You are now logged in. That's the reason why it needs to have an OR logical operator, because we want both of them to be true. Okay? Both of them to be true. If one of them is correct, both of them to be false, sorry, in order for it to work. Okay? In order to do that, we use the OR operator, which is this. Okay, and now if we test it out, we can do Sporky, and the password will be just a random password. You shall not pass, and it goes again and says, okay, fuck you, man, you need to put the password again. So now we'll actually do the actual password, username and password. So we'll put in Sporky. Thank you very much for following, man. I really appreciate it. Let's see who followed, because I said I'm going to say the names from now on. Not a great awesome. If I butcher the name, then I'm sorry. I'm not great at, I'm really good actually at butchering names. So we're going to put the actual username, and we're going to put the actual password, which is 1Q, 2Q, 2W, and 3E. You are now logged in. You have created a more advanced login system than before, guys. And I congrats you. Congratulations, everybody. You're starting to get into stuff which is deeper. Now, from here and on, I'm going to tell you something that I personally did. I had the same amount of logic, sorry, I'm getting mixed up with the past thing that I said. I had the same amount of knowledge that you have now when I was 15 years old. With that amount of knowledge, I actually created a game that simulates hacking, okay? At a very high level. I self-taught myself Kali Linux. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a bit of burpee. I created my own game, my own little project that I made. It wasn't published or anything. It was just a personal project for me to see where I could go with stuff. And I made a working, functioning game for hacking that you actually put in, like you do hacking. What is it called? Fuck, I forgot the commands. You do exploit, and then you put the payload, and after that you put the port that you want to go through, and all that cool stuff, which is really, really fun. You guys can create that game right now. With all the knowledge I gave you right now, first and second lesson, you guys can create that game. It's that simple. Now, I'm not going to go over more advanced, not really advanced, it's more commands, because you have all the documentation out there for all the string commands. You have like 6 out there. I believe that if you guys need help with it, you just type in Google like literally one sentence, how to compare 2 strings C++, how to copy 2 strings C++. I'll go over that when we do dynamically. One second. But it's okay. When I'm going to go into that with the SDR copy and SDR dupe, and there's all kinds of stuff which I will go into once we do the dynamically allocated, when you dynamically allocate malloc, but malloc, I don't remember I don't know how to phrase it. When we dynamically allocate arrays while we're doing this inside the program. Now, one thing that you guys need to remember, and this is very, very important, you cannot, under any circumstance, change or copy 2 arrays together, 2 strings in C, okay? You can't get them together when they're not dynamically in, you don't put them dynamically into the system, okay? Because every string, okay, or increase their size. Increase their size is a better way to phrase it. So let's say you have, I'll give you a little example. So let's say you want to have a name, right? Now you put in the first name of the person, and it dynamically allocates array, okay, of characters that is the size of the first name that he put in. Now, what you want to do is let him put a last name in, okay? Now, you want the last name and the first name to be in the same array, but you obviously need to increase the size of that array, which is not possible to do when they're static, when they're not dynamic. When you put them in right off the bat, when you put them into the software, okay, like I did over here, string s username, Sporky, and we know that string is the size of 100, is an array the size of 100, you can't increase the size to 150, which you can actually increase with allocated memory, that dynamically allocating memory. You will be able to actually take a string that will be the size of 10, let's say your first name is 10 letters, and then when he types in a last name, you take that string, you copy it into a new one that is the size also of the first name and last name, and put it into one big string that is the size of both of them together, including the space in between, or if you don't want a space in between. And I'll get into that. That is a very interesting subject, and it's a big subject for C, as well as pointers, which I will get to in the future. Okay, so now that we know arrays and we actually created a working system for passwords. By the way, I am going to actually put this in brackets. Okay. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to save it and upload it for you to Dropbox, to whoever wants these examples. Okay, you're talking between you guys. It doesn't have anything to matter with me. That's fine. Do me a favor, guys. When you want to talk to me, just do @Sporky Plays, and then I'll know that you're talking to me. Okay, because then I just read the chat all the fucking time. Okay. Otherwise, I'm just gonna ignore it from now on. If you don't type, unless I go in and read it. Thank you. Just to the @. Okay. So I'm gonna take this and I'm going to upload it into. I'm going to upload this to Dropbox. Where's the Dropbox? There we go. Stream toots. We're going to delete this one. Delete. And I'm going to take this one and drop into the Dropbox. Okay, that's uploaded. I'm going to share this folder with you guys if you need it. Folder settings. Okay, we'll do that. And now we want to copy link, Control C, and here you go, guys. This is all the stuff. Okay. Next subject, which is, we went over arrays, we went over typedef, and now we have #define. Okay, so what define does is it does the exact same thing as typedef, but define is mostly used to do, let's say you have a map, okay? No, actually not a map. You have an array that you know is the size of 100, right? So you want to do a word, okay, that you will be able to put in, okay? A word that you will be able to put in that will resemble that. So we just type in, let's say, define, and then we type max, and we'll give it the value 100. There's no equals, there's nothing. You don't, if I'm correct, you don't even need to put the semicolon. No, you do not. Okay, and that's the define, which is really easy to understand. All you do is define, name, and number. An int. It could be also a float as well, but you need to change it to float by doing, I think, this. And then max will be float 100. There you go. It will be 100 and floats. Good luck, man. Good luck. Okay. So that's basically define. So instead of typing 100 in, when you need to specify the size of the array, we could just do max. And max is basically 100. Now this value cannot be changed. Oh, it's type float. Sorry, I need to take this out. The default one is int for define. And since this has to be integer, array indexes cannot be floats, from what I know. Maybe you can do in floats, but I know, and I'm almost 100% sure, that you can't put them as floats. So now that we have this, we can go on to the next subject. Now you can see that when put typedef char string and 100, which basically resembles 100, max, which basically resembles 100. Now, oops, that's the wrong tab. Now let's see what we have next. Functions. Wow. Okay, this is going to be a bit long. This is going to take around about, I don't know actually how long it's going to take, but it's not going to take that long. It's going to be a very, I'm going to try and explain it as much as I can, but it's very self-explanatory. Okay. I'm going to do a 2 minutes break. I'm just going to go run to the bathroom and do one more thing, and we will be back and I will explain functions. Then we're going to go to header files and conclude our lesson. By the way, an announcement for you guys. There's some guys in the chat that already know this. We have a Discord server that all you guys are more than welcomed to join. I'm planning on making a community that has contests for building games and software, and games that we find interesting in Inbox Art, which is the gaming studio that I mentioned earlier. We will actually fund to go into Steam Greenlight. Okay? What I'm aiming for is a community of developers that will come together and everybody will help everybody. I'm going to do also private lessons over there, including let's say you missed one of the lessons, or you don't understand something, or I wanted to just randomly teach Python, then I'm going to do private lessons personally. Guys that will be inside this community, okay? Everybody is going to help everybody, okay? And second off, people that, if you look in here, we have a couple of stuff. So we have a couple of roles. It tells what roles, what languages you know. And there's beginner developer, advanced developer, and senior developer. And then there's teacher. So you guys will be able to actually become teachers in the community and do streams like me and do private lessons to people inside the community, okay? And help out people that don't have the ability to learn programming, and they want to do what they really love, but they don't have the resources, okay? So it will be very nice if you guys join the Discord and join the Steam group, which is also down below in the bio of the channel. And that's basically it. I'm going to go on a break for 2 minutes, guys, and I'll be right back. Hello guys. I actually really loved I really laughed at your comment, Sinti Santi. That was really funny, man. Okay. So back to our studying. Um okay. Functions. What is a function? So you know how we do void main, which is the main program, and we put all the code that we want, everything that we want to have inside there, right? Now, sometimes we just don't want it to be cluttered and have a lot of lines inside inside the main program. We want to keep it to the minimum, to the bare minimum. Okay? We don't want that. We don't want our main program to be like 10,000. Thank you very much for following, man. Let's see who it was, and I'll say your name. I'm Kiero. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So basically, we don't want our main program to become very, very long. We don't want that. It's absolutely chaos when that happens. And for that, we have functions. Functions are basically, imagine, um, outside, outside, um, what do you call, actions that you can use and you yourself can build and put it in to the main function instead of adding all these lines, which is not necessary to have, like we have here, 179 long fucking file. It's not necessary. You could do functions, and then they could be in the background. They could be in a different folder. They could be in a different file. They could be, and you could code whatever you want in here, and you know, you won't need to mess around with all that. You're basically, as a developer, it's your job to create your own tools. Okay? You don't need to, you don't, you try not to, at least use other people's tools that they made to make your life easier. You should create your own tools in your own way, and that will help you a lot more, and you'll be able to then add, like, go back into the tool that you created and change it up the way you want, because you created it and you know what you put in there. It's a lot easier than understanding what somebody else put in. So what we're going to do now is a function. Now, as we said before a million times, a program is from top to bottom. So that means that all functions need to be on the top. Okay? And if they're not on the top and you want to put it below, you need to declare it. And the way you declare it is by doing this. I'm going to explain something. Yes, basically, I guess. I'll tell you one thing, guys. I am from Israel. Okay, there's some things that I don't know how to convert from Hebrew into English, so I might get some things wrong. But it's your guys' right, and more than right, it's your duty to tell me if I am wrong and correct me, so I won't, you know, make you guys, you know, think about different things or something like that. Yeah, I know. I understand people don't try to recreate the wheel. There's some things, let's say, for example, you have DirectX, right? You can create a game engine with DirectX. You could create the whole fucking program, okay? Or you could use DirectX DK, which is a very, very cool library to help you do it, because they have all kinds of variables named differently, and all kinds of helpers, things that you don't need to recreate. Of course, I'm completely on this with you. But when I'm talking about creating your own tools to make it easier for you, there are some stuff that you don't need to you know, if there's a great thing and there. Okay, I'm gonna go into something that you guys will probably not understand from me saying it, but there is something called efficiency, and it's actually every single program you can mathematically calculate how efficient it is. So there are a couple of different efficiency levels. I'm not going to go into any of those right now. If you want that, I will do that lesson, but that lesson is going to be at least 4 hours. I'm just going to go into the basic thing. Correct, Santi. Correct. There are different levels of efficiency. Now, there are mathematically proven, okay? And there's a couple of things. There's O of n, there's O log n, there is O n log n, there is O of 1, and there is also log n. There are a lot of terms, mathematical terms, on how to describe the efficiency of the program and how long it will take you to actually, for the computer, in case we put infinite, not an infinite value, but any value, okay, we will have a kind of meter to understand how long it will possibly take, okay, estimatedly in that. Okay, so I'm not going to go into that. That is a whole different subject that you guys do not need to know right now. It's going to brain fuck you if you'll be for that lesson, guys. And I don't know if I'll do it on Twitch because you guys need to ask questions in that thing because it is mind-blowing and absolutely insane. So I'll probably do that lesson as a private lesson, and I'll just keep on doing the same lesson. I'll put it in the, and you guys can join Discord and I'll do it over there. If all you guys will have like a proper classroom or some shit. Okay. So like I said, you can have functions that, help you out. And you should go towards having your own tool set. Okay? So let's do this. I'm going to now create a function. Okay? I'm going to create it in 3 different ways. And in that way, I'm going to show you how to do also header files. Okay, so I'm going to do a very, very, very simple file. Okay, very, very simple. I'm going to create a function. Oh, wait, I want to talk about one more thing. We have void. Whoops, that's vid. Void. We have, let me comment this out. We have, to the start of the function, we have void. We have int. We have float, we have char, and more. Okay? Now, what I'm going to explain now is basically what these mean. As you can see here, void main. What does this mean? Okay, what it means is like this. Void, basically imagine it as a void, as a black hole. Whatever goes in there never comes out. It doesn't throw things back. It doesn't give anything back to the program to be able to, continue. It's just going to be void. It's a void. There's nothing there. Okay? There is actually code in there, but it doesn't return anything. Now we have int, float, and char, which is character, obviously. When we have int before main or before any function that you make, or float or char, destiny, I guess, the purpose of that function is to return a value that its data type is either int, float, or char. Now that is mentioned in the beginning of the thing. Now, I'm going to show you something, and I'm going to do the exact same thing that I did with the thing. I'm actually going to copy paste the entire code that we wrote over here, and I'm going to show you how to put it inside a function. A function is basically literally a set of type, name, and brackets. That's all it does, okay? So you don't need to worry about this. Now, we have a couple of things inside a thingy, which I will get to. What we want to do now, okay, is we want to change up a bit of stuff, okay, just a little bit. And we'll do it like this. We want to create a function that returns an integer. Now, why does it return an integer? It's because we want to determine if it returns a false value or a positive value. A false value or a positive value, which is positive or negative, which is not 0, that will be true. That's why we want to return an int. Or we could actually return an int to reclaim, redefine any kind of whatever it is. It could be another variable. It basically returns an int. But for our case, what we want to do is actually determine if what we get back from that function is true or false, okay? So what we're going to do is call it int. And now I'm going to do check data. Check data, okay? And I'm going to close it. Now, I'm going to open the brackets and do like this. There we go. One second. I have a whole section going for you guys. Okay, so we're going to do this. We're going to do check data. Now, what we want check data to do, it's very, very simple. What we want it to do is do the exact same thing that we have in main here. We'll estimate, we'll think that we deleted it by just pressing enter 1,000 times. Okay, but we're going to imagine that we did. Okay, and we don't actually have it there. And what we're going to do is an int check data. We're going to call it check data. Now, as you can see, we have regular brackets and we have curly brackets. Now, why is there regular brackets in front of the name? Why do we have that? There's like, you might ask, maybe it's just a regular way of declaring it. No, it's not. Yes, it is a regular way of declaring it. But the reason that we have it there is to pass in and out variables. So in our case, we actually want to pass into the function, we want to pass variables. So our variable that we're passing is a string. Now, as I said before, we have something that is called a magazine, okay? Everything that is created inside a function will be deleted as soon as you exit that function. As soon as that function is over, imagine it as a secondary program that opens, and then as soon as it's closed, all the data goes away, okay? It gets a magazine of stuff, and whatever is inside that gets deleted completely, okay? So what we want to do here is this, is the following. We don't want these, okay? We actually do want only these, okay? And this we can put back in main because we just don't want to write a lot, right? See you in a bit, man. Good night. Good night, both of you. Have a great night. See you in a bit. So let's continue. We're gonna go into this. Now, what we want to do is pass these two into the check data. So what we do here, we give it a name, okay? We give it a custom name. So whatever is passed in will have a different name inside here. It won't have the exact same name. We don't need that. It creates a new array for us. Not a new array. It sends the array in, okay? And then we can change, we cannot change it, but I'll get to that when we get to the pointers. I've been over that. If you were at the beginning of the stream, you would have heard me talking about that for, I think, like 10 minutes, right, guys? On how you're wasting memory when you do array of chars that is string. And basically, yeah. So let's go. And yes, I'm wasting a lot of memory. Don't worry. I completely know that. Don't worry about that. So now we want to declare an array that is, we'll call it stored un, sun, we'll call it sun, okay? And it's an array, okay? We don't need to put the brackets in, because we already have the data of it over here. Okay. Later on I will explain why you don't need it, and that will be in our pointer lesson. Okay. And now we want another string for the password, so it's going to be string and pw. Okay. Now, oh, I write that typo. String. Okay. pw. spw, because we want stored password. I'm just giving it random names because, you know, that fits a bit more. So now we take this and we put this in here, and we take this and we put this in here, and we basically just replace the names. Oh, not replace the whole fucking code. Thank you very much. Okay, and now we would just replace the names, because we're basically passing it through and just giving it another name in the other program, okay? Not a real program, it's another program that we're imagining that we're making, okay? It opens another program for a second, but it doesn't really. It's just imaginary. It's a thingy. You're still on this thing with the method and fucking function, are you guys? Oh my god. Oh, I love it. Anyways, so now that we passed it through, we can actually go back down here and call the function, right? Because we finished doing it. Oh, actually, we have slight changes that we want to make. 1 second. Okay. So the slight changes that we want to make is this. First of all, we don't want this while loop. We don't want this while loop at all. Because all we want this to do is just return, okay? All we want this to do is return a value if it is right, correct, or not. Okay? If the string that we give it, if the string that we give it as our username, as our user, whatever we put in, is correct, or if it's not correct. Okay? So, actually, I don't think it will let me do it because I put two strings. I'm not sure. We might get an error, guys. I don't think so, but we may get it because I didn't use these. I use dynamically allocated arrays all the time, because regular when you're working with strings, it's a lot better to do that than actually doing this. I'm not sure if this is going to give us an error or not, but we'll try it anyways, and if it does, then I'll change it and we'll make it work. Okay, so what we want to do is this. Okay, we want it to do, actually, you know what, I'm just going to do return this, okay, and I'm going to delete the while, and I am going to delete this, I'm going to delete this, I'm going to delete this. Okay, now that we did that, let's just do, fuck me. Okay, so now what we do is basically do the exact same thing that we did before. Okay, I just was reading the chat. By the way, guys, if you need any further things I went through before, you can actually go in and see the tutorial. I'm sending the file that I'm working on right now with all the examples to you guys on Dropbox. Preferably that you guys do this with me while I speak, okay? While I do this, just download Covlogs, Visual Studio, whatever it is, and do it. And I want you guys to ask questions if you don't understand it. Okay. Now, what we want to do here is check if the username that was entered and the password that was entered are correct. So we're doing this. Okay? So if this is true, or any of them is true, okay, we went over this with the or before, then what it will do, it will return 0. Why will it return 0? The reason is that if the username and password are incorrect, we want it to return 0, so it will be false. We're going to use it in a second, guys. So what we do now is write else. If it's anything else, then if this is not going through and it's actually a different thing, then what happens is the following. It will return 1, basically saying that what we wrote in, the username and password that we wrote in, is actually correct. That's actually a very good idea, this Synapses TV. That is a very good idea, man. Sporky, I'm following you with particular accuracy for mistake. Okay, man.
Thank you for following.
Oh, thank you very much for following, man. Let's say the name. Santi90, thank you very much for following, guys. Thank you very much. Okay, so we do else return 1, because if the username is correct, it won't actually do this if statement. It will only check it, and then after it checks it, it goes right towards the else. So after we did this, we basically want to do a while loop, and we want to put inside the brackets, check data, okay? And we want to put in, and I'll explain this in a second. As you can see, we have things that we need to pass through to the thing in order to work, okay? The reason that I'm putting this in a while loop, I will show this in a minute, okay? And then you'll understand. So check data, and we want to bring in the saved password and saved username. So we put saved password, and now the second one is a string for saved username, and the second one is a string for saved password, right? Now, actually, I'm going to do something really cool. Since we only wanted to, Actually, yeah, that's true. I just want to go over the else because I didn't use it at all in almost the whole fucking 2 lessons. So that's why I'm using it. You don't really need to do this, and there's tons of different ways that I can do this, and this is actually not the way that I personally code. If you will see my code in DirectX or the thing, I will actually post a source for DirectX and programming later on when I start teaching it. It's a lot more advanced than you see here. I'm just trying to do it as long as possible for you guys to understand it. Obviously, there's only one way to code. There's not only one way to code, but there's only a couple of ways for the syntax to be. But the way I'm coding it now is totally not how I code it personally when I code stuff. Yeah, okay. So I'm not actually gonna type. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Print f you shall not pass. Okay, and then we know that if he comes out of this while loop, everything will be all right. I didn't really understand. By the way, there's no Boolean and C. I'm teaching C right now, and then we're progressing into C++, since you need to know, everybody that does this has to know, and the way that I was taught, and by the way, I'm a software engineer for the guys that didn't know. The way that I was taught is all the basics first, so you know how the whole thing works. If I don't know if you were here before, but there's a lot of things. You can watch this video later on YouTube, but I'm teaching first the basics of C. so you'll understand how C++ even works. And then when we go into C++, we're going to start touching object-oriented, polymorphism, and all that great stuff, okay? Okay. I don't know if it's actually called polymorphism in English. It's just something that they call it in Hebrew. I know. I just don't want to include it now because I want you guys to know that a boolean doesn't really exist. It's actually like over here with the typedef char string thingy. It's actually an enum that is created by the developers or whoever made the language. The actual, if you knew assembly, the actual way of finding if it's true or false is 0, and that's actually given by a flag inside the system that you're using, either NASM or whatever. There's all kinds of flags that are putting up if there's something called a 0 flag, and the 0 flag determines if it's true or false, in some cases depending how you program it. And actual programming does not have boolean. It's just something that was made in the process to make it easier for guys to start learning programming. So that's the reason. And yes, I'm completely aware that you could do boolean. But yeah, let's go back into the stuff. I need one hit, man. One hit. Okay. So 2:49 a.m. and I'm still fucking fresh. I fucking love this. Printf, you logged in. You are logged in. Smiley face. Okay, now that we did this, as you can see, our main does not have to have all this fucking shit inside it in order to make it work. You don't need all that shit. Now, after I finish this and show you the example and see if it works, because I'm not sure if this is going to work. Again, I don't really use anymore that type of stuff. I use dynamically allocated, and C++ you don't really need to. So let's see what happens. Let's run the program. I'll go over to make sure. Yeah, we have this. Okay, yep. Let's see if this works. Compiler's gonna shout. No, it's not. Okay, please enter your username. Now, if I'm correct, it's probably gonna shout now when I do this. So we'll put in RAM, and oh, it's not shouting. And we'll put in this as password. You're logged in. Okay. What is the reason that we're logged in? I'll do this. Int flag, we'll just call it flag, equals 0. And we'll just do this because I'm not sure if this is working and I just want to test this. If flag equals 1. Oh wait, I know actually why it didn't work. Fuck me. Oops. This is why. What the fuck, man? You are logged in. Smiley face. This is why it didn't work. Like we said before, if it returns a 0, okay, we want this whole thing to do while check data returns a false value, you will keep on doing the same exact shit. That's why it didn't work before. Now let's do this again. And what's beautiful as well about this method, by the way, if this works correctly, I'm not sure if it will shout at me in a bit. If this method works, the whole thing that you put a string, username, blah, 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 all this, is that whenever this closes down, okay, whenever the whole, whenever the function ends, it's going to delete both of these. As we said before, whatever's inside the actual By the way, guys, if you're typing to me something, put at @sporkyplays, because I'm not going to look at it and I'm not going to read the whole chat because you guys are obviously talking about different stuff or stuff that are related. Okay, so the beauty of this is that when a function ends, everything that is in the function gets deleted. It's called a magazine, and the magazine is you put in things into it, okay? And when the function ends, it will inject everything and throw it, okay? Okay. So let's go in here, and now that we did this, as long as it returns a false value, you're going to do you shall not pass. Now let's run the program and put a random name, random thingy, you shall not pass. Please enter your password. Let's just do this. \n. Okay. And we'll do blah, 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 blah. You shall not pass. Please enter your username and password. Now let's do Sporky. And we'll do 1Q2W3E. You're logged in. That's it. That's absolutely it. There you go. You have now the same exact thing that we did before, but as you can see, the main is empty. It's nice. It's presentable. If you're going to work in a company or anything, or you're going to work on a project and you work only on the main, you are going to have so much trouble with your project. It's unbelievable. Okay? Everybody that does programming always uses functions. Okay? To all the beginners that don't know this. Okay? So that's basically it for that. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of stuff that you guys might or may not know. So as we said before, a program, when it starts from the top to the bottom. And I said this numerous times over and over again because I want to get this thing into your head. Once you know that, you'll be able to understand what you're programming a lot better, because you'll know how to prioritize stuff inside your code. Okay? Nobody wrote to me. Okay, so basically, as you go down, it's going to read it. Now, what we do over here, we're declaring a function. Like we declare int, like we declare a float, like we declare anything. We declare a value, okay? We declare a function, sorry. Now, this function is at the top because it reads from top to bottom. It goes down and says, okay, it goes down, 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 down. Oh, here is a function, I guess. Yes, it's a function. It's definitely a function. It has all the rules. It has properties that are put inside and will be passed through. It has all this code. Awesome. Okay, this is a function. I'll save it in the background and I'll know for the future if I want to use it. Okay. Now, and then it goes down here and says, oh, okay, I need to use this. It's saved up here, so I'm just going to put this code, run this, and boom, whatever comes out, comes out, okay? Now, in case you find this annoying to put it on the top and then the main is all the way in the bottom, what you can actually do is very, very simple. You only declare the function. Give me a second, sorry. There we go. You only declare it, okay? You don't actually put the code in. You only type what it's going to have, what the name of it, what data type it's going to bring back, either void, int, float, could be even string if you want after you made the typedef, and whatever you want. And then you put a semicolon. Then you go all the way down. Holy shit, we wrote a lot. And you go down here and you do a couple of spaces and you paste it in, and now it's going to work the exact same as before. All it does is basically, as you can see, it works. Otherwise it wouldn't even ask me, because we have this. It asks this inside here, inside here. Okay, what it does is basically says, okay, somebody's declaring, the guy that developed this program is declaring check data blah 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 blah. Okay, where is it? Let's go search for it. Are you check data? Nope, you're main. Are you check data? Whoops, yep, there it is. Okay, I'm just going to add this to the background, and I'm going to keep on going, and when it's called, it's called. And that's basically for that. Now, let's go into header files. Header files is a way of combining two files together into a kind of API. Okay, it's a way to have, let's say you have one file that contains all the functions for plus and minus or whatever. I'm just throwing things out there. You have one file that contains all the functions that you can do with times and divide by and all that. And that way, you basically can create a sort of an API sort of thing going on. At Sporky Plays, you don't need to declare the names of the parameters. I know that that's in C++. I think you actually need to declare it in C, I think. But I'm not sure about it. But I know that in C++ you don't need to put it in. And actually gives you an error if you put the name, but over here it doesn't. I think actually that if you don't put it in here, it's going to give me an error. I think. No, it's not, because it's a C++ compiler, but C works as well. Okay. So, let's create a header file. It shouldn't be that hard at all. Now, one thing that I want to touch. Over here, you have include. As you can see, ignore this define. It's basically so the scanf will work because we're using C and not C++, and we're not using all the fancy shit for C++. So we have hashtag include, and then the name. Now this is an actual file that is inside Visual Studio, and it's including it. It's including all the code from it. So all the functions that are typed inside here and already made, okay, they're available for you. You can use them, okay? Okay, so let's create a header file. Let's go in here and create, where is this? Add new item, and we'll create a header file, and we'll call this helper. It doesn't matter the name. The name is whatever you pick it, helper. And we put it in here. Now we create another one that is a CPP file, and we call the exact same name. Okay? Press on add. Now that both of these are sitting over here, what we do is very, very basic. We go back into our source, okay? And we do the following. We put in here include, and then every single header file that you make won't be put inside the arrows. It will be put inside brackets. Okay? Not brackets, sorry. What do you call it? Guys, help me. What is that thingy called with the two lines? This shit? I forgot what it's called. Okay. And then we're going to add helper in there. Comma? No, not comma. I forgot what it's called. Speech marks? Okay, speech marks. I know that there's a different name for it. I just forgot it. So we include helper. So now every single thing that is in helper, imagine when the program runs that it actually puts it over here. Everything that is inside helper is inside there. Imagine like it opening up and just putting a bunch of code over there. That's what the compiler sees. Okay? The compiler doesn't have all kinds of different files and different folders and all that. It puts everything into one big file and runs the whole thing like a book, like we said before. Quotation marks. There we go. Thank you. So what we do now is we do the exact same thing we did here. We need to, since this is up here, okay, we need to go into the helper file, and actually, you know what, I'm going to do this differently. I'm just going to go in here and go down here. And we're going to need, what we're going to do is copy this and actually delete it from here because we don't need it in the main. Okay? And we're going to go into helper.ccp. This is where all the code for all the function is going to be, not in the header file. The header just says, it just declares them. Double dildo marks. the other thing just declares them. Now, as you can see, string is being put out as an error. Why is that? Very simple. Inside episode 1.ccp, what we did, we declared string as a typedef in here. Okay? We declared it in here. Now, what we want to do, in order for any file that is using helper to have a string in it, a typedef string in it, we just copy it, delete it from here, because we don't need to declare it twice, because it's also going to be declared here, and we type it in here. Now max is also now declared here. Okay? It's going to give us that error. So we're going to take this, we're going to remove it from here, and we're going to put it in here. And that's how you declare stuff inside a header file. You just declare stuff over there, and they will automatically be declared into any file that includes that header file. Okay? Now, now what we want to do is, oh, I fucked up. I fucked up badly. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay, never mind. I have it in here. Now, as you can see in a second, after I include it, so also in the CCP file, it needs to be included. So you do include, and you type in the quotation marks and helper. Boom. No, wait. Boom. No, it's not going to work. There you go. Okay. Now, also in here, we could declare, because as you can see, we don't have the printf, scanf, and why is that? That's because we actually use it over here. We didn't include it into that file. So what we do, we could actually take all this, okay, all this, and put it over here. And we have it also declared in the main, and we could delete this from here. Also in the main, we have it declared. As you can see, we have printf where we have everything, okay? And also we have it in helper.ccp. Now, as we did before in episode 1.tcp, we declared the function. But if we declare it over there, there's no function here. It's going to go through this file and it's going to be like, where the fuck is this file? I can't find it. Why did he randomly just fucking declare shit? It's not logical, right? So what you do is actually go into helper.ccp and you declare it over here. Okay? And then over here, it's going to be declared and it's going to be passed on into CCP. Now, quick thing that is very, very important for you guys. Whatever you put in the header file, the arguments that you have in here, their names as well, I think, I'm not sure. Don't take me by the word, the syntheses. But I'm sure about this one, that the string and the name has to be the same exact name or thingy as data type as here. Otherwise, if I'm correct, let's see if I'm correct or not. We're going to do this, and over here we'll have an error. I don't know. I don't remember. I really don't remember. Okay, whatever. We'll just call it sun. But you have to have, so let's say I add over here. This is a common mistake that I personally make as well. Let's say I do another string and call it blah blah or whatever, ASF. It's going to give me this error, okay? Because it needs to be defined in here as well. And it's going to give you this green line. +1 overloaded function definition for check data not found. And also vice versa, putting a new one here and not putting it in the CCP. Okay, so we have this, and now we run the program and we see if this works. It works. Awesome. So now let's type sporkey, password 1Q2W3E. You're logged in, smiley face, and that's it. Now, we have finished the second basic class program stream tutorial. Okay, guys, I hope all of you had a lot of fun and you learned some cool stuff from it. Now, before you go, guys, before you go, I want to say a couple of things. If you have any questions at all, I will always be on the Discord, or I will always have my phone with me that you guys can send me messages and ask me. The community is open for every and absolute everyone, okay? And I would recommend joining it, okay? Because I want to make this place where everybody develops together, and I want to do these private lessons, and I want to help people that don't have the ability to learn what they really love to do, okay? So if you guys feel the need and you want to join a community like that where everybody develops together, there's contests for games and software and all that stuff, please join the Discord and join our Steam group, which is also mentioned below. Okay? I'll be, for the next half an hour, I'm going to be in my Discord if anybody has questions, okay? Related to the community, related to the programming. If you have an idea for a software or a game that you want to make and you don't know how to do it, I can also help you with that. Basically, anything that you guys need help with, I'm here to help all of you, and I am glad, more than glad, to help every single one of you with no problem at all. Private lessons are going to be completely free as well. You won't need to pay anything. You don't need to do anything, okay? I get money from my personal stuff, and I'm doing this for people that don't have the option and are not lucky and don't get to their places that they want to be in. If you want, I can share with you guys as well. I didn't learn in school anything. I didn't learn math. I didn't learn English. I didn't learn anything. I skipped all the classes. All I would do all day is sit down, play fucking Gary's Mod, and code and make stuff and all that. Okay? But it didn't stop me from getting into one of the most prestigious colleges in Israel. That didn't stop me. If you have a crave for something, fucking go for it. Okay? And I'm talking this from the heart, guys. Go after your goals. Do it. I'm here to help you guys to achieve this goal. If you fucked up and you missed your chance to fucking shine, I'm here to fucking help you guys, because I should have been in that exact point. I should have been in that exact position of you guys, but I managed to be lucky and managed to do all the stuff that I did and get in there. And because of that, I want to give you guys a present who didn't have the chances like me to get in to do something they love. And that's the whole reason, and that's the sole purpose that I'm doing this, not for anything else. Okay? I hope all of you had learning experience with me. I hope all of you enjoyed the video. This video is going right now up to YouTube, where you'll be able to review it, watch it. Arma scripting, yeah boy! Will you be able to watch and learn and do basically thingy. This file right now, I'm going to do it with you guys. Don't go yet. I'm going to send the link. I'm going to declare. I'm going to fucking declare. Man, I speak programming already. 1 second. Let me just do this. I'll take this and I'll do the stream toots.rar. Oh, it's because it's open. Close. I'll delete this. Let me close Visual Studio. I'll save all. Close this. Second, guys, I'm sending you the rar file. I'm going to put it in here. Okay. There you go. It's uploading now. You have already. I'll send the link again. Copy link. Copy. Paste. This is the link to all the stuff that I did. You could take examples from there. You could do whatever you want with it. It's up to you. Okay. I'm gonna put the Discord link for whoever doesn't want to fucking type that shit in, because you could barely fucking see it. Discord. Invite people. Copy. Paste. There you go, guys. Other than that, that's it. I hope all of you guys enjoyed. Have a great time. Keep on working on stuff, guys. Keep on working on stuff. If you watch the tutorial, the guys that are new here, You have an assignment to do for next stream, which is going to be either tomorrow or in 2 days. I'm not really sure, depending on what happens tomorrow. Probably tomorrow, most likely. You have an assignment to do. I'm going to just repeat it for the guys that weren't there, and please type it down or later review it. You know that it's in the end of the video. What you need to do is this for the next stream, and please upload it into the Dropbox or upload it to anything, and I'll download it and I'll review it, and I'll give you guys feedback on how to improve your coding skills. And what I want is this. I want a program that takes username and password like we did, like we all did, okay? And it counts down how many tries you did in order to get the password right. And if it exceeds more than 10 tries, the program will give a message saying your trying limit has exceeded, and then it will just take you and throw you out of the program. I'm going to type in here, guys, put this in a text file because this is what you need. One of the things you put that in. Oh, so right, exit one with the semicolon. You put that in and that exits out of the program instead of you needing to do all kinds of stuff, okay? Next lesson, I'm going to be teaching a lot more stuff that you guys are going to be needing to be here. I am going to do pointers probably, and that's going to probably take up our whole lesson. I'm not sure if I'll get to anything else. I'll try doing it, okay? No, just exit. Just exit. You don't need to do system.exit. And that's basically it. Again, hope you guys enjoyed. Keep on practicing. Keep on doing. I swear to God, by the end of this fucking tutorial, all of you guys are going to have your own fucking games, okay? And and if there are some games that I like, I'm going to fund them personally to, I'm going to fund them personally for Steam Greenlight, okay? I'll see you guys in a bit. And Java will be for now private lessons. I'm going to start it later on when I finish with C. In my free time, I'll try to do some lessons for Java. Okay, guys, have a great time. Enjoy. And I'll see you next time. If you need me, I'm at the Discord. Bye-bye, guys. See ya.